Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd come to order, I'd like to call the October 6th Columbia County Planning Commission meeting to order. If you'd stand with us, Commissioner Noah will lead us in our invocation. Commissioner Henderson will lead us in the pledge.
Dear and most precious God, thank you amongst us. Help us make decisions in the county. Also ask special blessings for people's path, for visitors safe, and also the first responders.
Flag.
United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, a nation, God, indivisible.
Thank you. Be seated. Could please remind you to silence your cell phones during the meeting. We do have 4 or 5 commissioners present. Commissioner Gallis is absent this evening. I believe he's on a business trip. We do need to consider the minutes from the last meeting. Gentlemen, if you don't have any changes or amendments to those minutes, I'd like a motion to approve.
So moved.
Do I hear a second? Second. All in favor? Motion to approve carries 4-0. We do have a fairly short agenda tonight. Gentlemen, are there any amendments that need to be made to the agenda? Seeing none, I'd like a motion for approval.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda for tonight.
Second? Second. All in favor? Motion to approve the agenda carries 4-0. We have no presentations tonight. However, would like, for the record, to read in this statement. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to clarify that the Planning Commission is a recommending body to the Columbia County Board of Commissioners. The decisions made on rezoning and variance requests tonight will be forwarded to the Commissioners for final action on October 18th, 2016 at 6 p.m. in these chambers. If you wish to address the Board of Commissioners at their meeting, please see Miss Linda on the side over there. Was Miss Lily, but Miss Lily has been promoted to the Commissioner's office, and Miss Linda can help you with a request to speak form. Also, these proceedings are audio taped, or I guess digitally recorded, and then can be downloaded to a compact disc. If you'd like a copy, you can also see Miss Linda for a copy of this meeting. We have no debate agenda tonight, or excuse me, we have no consent agenda on tonight's meeting, so we'll move to the debate agenda. No unfinished business for rezonings or variances. Under new business, we do have 3 massage operator licenses to consider. And I believe, gentlemen, if you don't mind, we'll take all 3 of these at one time. Ms. Hall?
Good evening. The 3 operators' licenses, first is for Haley Hale. She'll be performing massage on premise at 1202 Town Park Lane. That is within the Serenity Day Spa. We have Scott Thornton. He'll be providing mobile massage only. And then finally, Vitality Therapeutic Massage, which is Amy Goddard, and she'll be performing massage at 4573 Cox Road and mobile massage services. And all 3 of those are licensed therapists in the state of Georgia.
Okay, thank you. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here, either the applicants that would like to speak either for these requests or anyone that would like to speak against these requests for operators' licenses? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. And
Ms. Hall,
yes, sir.
Does the county have a regulation on how many mobile massage units we can have?
No, sir.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, is there anyone else who would like to come forward? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and accept a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the massage operator's license for Haley Hale at 1202 Town Park Lane in Evans, Scott Thornton at 789 Watermark Drive in Evans, and Vitality Therapeutic Massage, Amy Michelle Goddard at 4573 Cox Road, Evans.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Motion to approve carries 4-0. All right, we have no conceptual plans or preliminary plats this evening. We do have a final plat. Mr. Strickland, I believe this is yours. And this is not a public hearing.
Not a public hearing. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Excuse me. This is a request by Dean Glover for a variance, section 74-42 which limits the number of lots that can be subdivided off of a parent tract within a 5-year time period. The subject parcel is 17.74 acres at 1808 Smith Crawford Road. Subject parcel is here, outlined in red. It's undeveloped, largely wooded. And the applicant, Mr. Glover, would like to subdivide the parcel, as you can see here. The existing tract, this tract outlined in red, was part of a subdivision, I believe, a couple of years ago, or last year actually, part of an estate that was divided up. Mr. Glover would like to essentially do the exact same thing, but for his family, given that that meets the intent of the code in preventing subdivision of large lots, large estate lots into smaller development lots for the subdivision, for like a residential subdivision. Recommend approval.
Gentlemen, do you have any questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve tax map 009, partial O2OH individual plat.
Do your second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Motion to approve carries 4-0. All right, we do have two plan revisions this evening. Mr. Butler, you have both these. First is file RZ 16-10-01.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a request for a major revision to a planning and development over at Westlake. It's for an assisted living facility located at 541 Furious Ferry Road, and it's 5.92 acres. This is the location of the property. It is north of the intersection of Inverness Way and Furious Ferry Road. This is zoning of the property. Again, it is currently zoned PUD. Properties to the north are zoned P1 and R2. Properties to the both the south, east, west, and south are zoned PUD. Aerial view of the site, again, currently undeveloped, so it is heavily wooded. Both the parcels, the parcel here was rezoned in 1981 as part of the original Westlake planning and development. It was originally supposed to be commercial. This was rezoned in 88 to add it to Westlake and also be commercial as well. In terms of the future land use map, this area is supposed to be residential. However, due to the rezonings, back in the 80s, we honor, the intent of those PUDs. This is a street view of the property. Again, this is going downhill, and again, you can see some of the grade change with the property. Applicant is the conceptual site plan you can see here. They're proposing an approximately 94,000 square foot assisted living facility with both memory care and assisted living. The setbacks from the property are 110 from center line of Furious Ferry Road, 3 feet on the side, and then 20 feet at the back. And also the parking is much less than as usual. We're going to give them a administrative variation when they come in for the site plan. Again, due to being memory care, probably not a lot of people are going to be driving from that, so there's some reason there to decrease it. I can't really see it real well in this view, but it does have a grade change from here to here of 50 feet. One of the conditions will kind of address that. And they have presented conceptual elevations of the site. It does meet CPOD requirements for the architecture. And also we have a 3D view as well. Not as visible in this drawing here, but again, it does have 2 courtyards as well. Staff has recommended approval of conditions. There are several. The first one is a sidewalk connection to the proposed building at Furious Ferry. And the second one is the rear buffer. Normally it would be, they proposed 20 feet. We have asked for a 30-foot high or 30-foot wide buffer with 25 feet undisturbed, 5 feet disturbed, and also 6-foot high privacy fence. And also any encroachment into that 5 feet will be replanted with evergreen trees. Also, you have all the retaining walls. So we set the landscape again to mitigate their impacts. With the 50 feet of fall, you wouldn't want to see a wall that's 20 feet high and that sort of thing. Also keep them all under 8 feet if possible. And also connectivity via an access road. Again, with the properties to the north are zoned professional for medical uses, and the property to the south is zoned commercial. So it makes a lot of sense to have all these be connected So there can be some connectivity between all of them. And also, so the people staying with assisted living could feasibly go to their medical doctors easily or go to the shops south. All exterior lighting shall be shielded and directed downwards. Again, that's to mitigate impact on adjacent properties, kind of goes hand in hand with the buffer. The next three are from water utility. GDOT there's a water line, 16-inch water line in the ground there. And so that's where these conditions come from. Includes staff recommendation.
Gentlemen, do you have any questions of staff? This is a public hearing. Is the applicant here this evening? Yes, sir. Do you have anything you'd like to add? Come forward and give us your name and home address.
Good evening. My name's Daniel Justly. I'm from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Do you need my home address in
Sure.
Hattiesburg?
Absolutely.
It's 1300 South 34th Avenue, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, 39402. Our company, CR Properties, is based out of Hattiesburg. Wanted to tell you a little bit about us. We've several assisted livings that we've built in Louisiana, Mississippi, hopefully in Georgia very soon. So if you want to learn more about our company, you can go to theclaburn.com, see some of the properties that we built in the past. But we're really excited to be here and appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any questions?
Yeah, if we put up the conceptual site plan, yeah. Is there any reason, and can't give you a mark because I can't mark on mine, but that the driveway in the back just stops? Is that because elevation? I know it's not required to go all the way around. It just looks like kind of odd.
Well, Scott Mike can speak better to this, but we do have some elevation challenges, and we're going to have to make up some grades. So that back corner, what we're proposing is kind of a turnaround area for any delivery trucks, garbage trucks, things of that nature.
Okay, so it just won't stop there then?
It would actually, yes, sir, it would stop.
Oh, the turnaround is,
Yes, sir, you would pull in and kind of back in and back out.
and I know it says it's going to, you haven't decided yet, but where are you thinking of putting the detention pond?
I'm Scott Johnson. I'm engineer for the project. Address is 371 Main Street, Warrenton, Georgia. And the area that you're talking about here would be used for detention.
You can mark that if you can mark, we can't.
Oh, okay. How about that? Kind of in this booth here is where our detention will start, and much space as we need. This area here. But again, as Will mentioned, there's about 50 feet of grade change in the property. So we're trying to leave ourselves as much room as we can, slopes and retaining walls and that sort of thing.
Yeah, you're going to have to move a lot of dirt then. Okay, thank you.
And I'll be happy to answer any questions if anybody.
All right, gentlemen, any other questions? All right, thank you. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here that'd like to speak either for or against this particular rezoning? Please come forward and give us your name and home address.
Name's Mahim Janovic, 3713 Westlake Drive, Martinez, 307.
Spell your last name, please, sir.
Janovic, Majanovic. You should have a letter from me. Sent to Ms. Mystery yesterday by email. I was supposed to be in Charleston for a wedding, as we all know.
Are they getting married anyway?
No, sir, my nephew is, but they're still going on the honeymoon. They're going to delay the wedding.
That's not
Let's
fair.
see, wait a minute.
A little different, isn't it?
Something's not right about
Yeah.
that.
Is there any guarantee they'll go, well, never mind.
I'm going to say.
You know, it might be that they're both Clemson engineers. I don't know. We hated to, but I lived there during Hurricane Hugo. So I know what it's like, so I'm glad everybody changed their plans. But anyhow, I'm a resident on Westlake Drive. I back up to the green space, Reed Creek. So part of my concern is the stormwater retention. We have a long history with Reed Creek flooding. Used to be when we had a 6-inch storm forecast, I got concerned. But recently, we have had some 2 to 3 inch downpours that have caused Reed Creek to significantly increase. One just about 3 weeks ago, where stormwater engineering, Gary Bennett and his staff had to go out on a Saturday and look where red water was coming from. But the point I'm trying to make is, we all know the history of Reed Creek, and I would just appreciate if the developers focused on the stormwater retention, and if they could, even exceeded what the county specifies. It is a troublesome area. It does affect property values. It affects Bowen Pond, which is another story we could talk about. So I'm just asking the developers to focus on that. And I have met with the developers this evening. I'm very comfortable with the direction they're getting. The second thing is the tree ordinance. When they cleared Dr. Duckworth's property, they cleared it. Even the big old oak tree, which everybody hoped we would save, was cleared. No site development requires, and there's going to be a lot of dirt moving on this site, so they're going to have to take out a lot. But I just ask that they come back in and make it appeasing, because it is a retirement home. People would like to see trees. Our residents in Westlake would like to look into trees, and residents, citizens of Columbia County going down Furys Ferry don't need to see another rooftop and a huge parking lot. They would like to see some landscaping. We have addressed the buffer on the back of the property.
The greenscape issue about what kind of landscaping will be required on a,
Sure.
on a project?
Well,
this
and I will
magnitude?
say too, since that Savannah River Dermatology building originally approved, the county has actually updated our landscaping requirements,
Fantastic.
tree density requirements. And so there will be a lot more credit for saving trees on the site, and actually more trees required in general anyway. So you will see a difference between that first site and this one.
Fantastic.
And we also hired a landscape.
And we do have a landscape architect on staff now, actually, reviewing landscape plans and inspecting in the field. That has already a lot of fruit.
No pun intended.
The next thing about the width of the buffer on the back of the property, that's been addressed to 25 feet plus 5 feet. Developers have just acknowledged that as well. Now, that property backs up to 2 or 3 homes that are in the $1.5 million to $2 million range. So a nice buffer, appreciated by everybody. Garbage containers. This is a facility that's going to house a lot of people. They're going to be serving 3 meals a day, I believe. And I just want to make sure that, number one, we watch the garbage, because it is meals. With respect to rodents, we have coyotes in Westlake. Don't need to be feeding them out of the containers. And the other thing with garbage containers is, like the Walmart and Bel Air Road that drew some attention, the developer can work with the contractor for garbage not to come in there with those big commercial garbage trucks before 7 a.m. But in talking with the developers before the meeting, I mean, I understand the residents of this assisted living also don't want that, to be woken up at 5 a.m. by garbage trucks. I think that's going to be taken care of as well. The lighting in the parking lot, I think it's already addressed by planning and zoning, that it'll be directed toward the site, not
in the
toward the back
conditions.
property. So I thank you for that as well. And, you know, my comments, I support the development. My comments are, we just need to continue our community vision, that it is a vision that we all enjoy and appreciate and are proud of in Columbia County.
Thanks,
Thank
sir. Is there anyone else that'd like to come forward, either for or against? All right, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and accept a motion.
He did bring up something I didn't see.
Okay.
Drawing was, there's no contingency for the trash. There's no enclosure built for the trash. I'd like to know what the plan is for that.
So we're still working through the drawings, but most likely it's going to sit right there. And typically what we do is an enclosure that's built with gates. So it is an enclosed container with the dumpster enclosure, with the dumpster inside of it.
Okay, so that brings up something else. So you have an enclosure there. Will that impede a fire truck if from getting to the back end? And I can't arrow thing here.
Well, so this is what, 24 feet wide? The road?
offset a little bit, either on this side or this, such that it doesn't sit in the dead spot. It'll be an
Right.
angled.
So we're going to have we're going to have an enclosure that will represent the architecture of the building, close the trash in for multiple reasons cited by the gentleman there. It won't impede, because obviously a fire truck can only go so far. It won't impede getting to the back end of the building back here. Fire.
Any other questions? Okay, I'll close the public hearing and, yes, sir.
Westlake, I live at 3741 Sapphire Drive, 0907. You should have a letter from McLeod in front of you. I'd like to read it. On behalf of Westlake Property Owners Association, this letter consents to the request by CR Properties, LLC, to construct an assisted living facility at 541 Furys Ferry Road. Westlake has been in contact with the developer over the past months, and our consent is conditional on him exceeding all Columbia County buffer requirements, landscaping requirements, lighting requirements, most importantly, stormwater retention requirements. We have been assured by Scott Johnson, engineer for the project, that our requests will be met. As such, we welcome CR Properties, LLC, to the neighborhood. This letter represents the Board of Directors of Property Owners Association. Obviously supports their project.
Thank you. Anyone else like to come forward before we close the public hearing? Being none, we'll close the public hearing. And gentlemen, I'd like a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve file RZ 16-10-01 with the conditions outlined.
Okay, can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor? Motion to approve carries 4-0. Mr. Butler, RZ 161002.
Mr. Chair, this is also a major revision to an S1, which is a special zoning, 2822 Nob Hill Road, applicants Madison Heights LLC. This is a location of the property on the south side of Washington Road. And again, currently zoned S1, property to the north is zoned PUD, property to the east is zoned RA, south is RA, and then also you have PUD to the west. Aerial view of the site, again, it was built in 1996, or 1996 when it was rezoned. They've had an update in 1998 as well, and this revision today. Here's a street view of the site. Again, this is an old view. This is from 2016. No longer looks like that. It's actually white in color now. It has more landscaping. This is an exceptional site plan. It does have an error on it with the setback here. What they're proposing to do is have an administrative building at the back of the property. If you can go back one slide, or two slides, I guess. It'll be in this area here. There, again, a 1,500 square foot administrative building with offices in it. And again, we'll be located approximately 16 feet from the property line. During review, there is a sewer line there. There was some question of who owned it. Water utility had a look at it, and it's owned by, it's a private line, so they could feasibly put it on top of it, but again, we recommend not to do that. This is the conceptual elevations of the site. It does have a roof. This is a little different in terms of when it went from my computer to the other one, and it's brick. It matches the other buildings currently in existence. This is the existing site. This is where the building would be. Basically start in this area and go this way. In terms of future land use map, it is within the Greenbrier Activity Center. An activity center like this would have commercial uses in it and neighborhood uses. While the use isn't specifically mentioned, it is an acceptable use for the area. Minor expansion of the use is definitely warranted, so it does fit within the future land use. Staff recommends approval of the request.
There's a public hearing. Is the applicant here this evening? Yes, sir, would you like to come forward and add anything? Please give us your names and home addresses.
Scott Goldberg, 3904 Seven Bark Circle, Birmingham, Alabama. we're just, we've reached maximum occupancy, and due to that, some of those units that are being, that need to be occupied by residents are being occupied by staff. So the MO, the purpose is to create space for them, and that's why we're here. We're not here to compromise in the integrity of what we've finished out. We've feel like we did a good job of taking what, in my opinion, was an eyesore on Washington and really invested in it. And it's going to have that same look and feel, and that's really the purpose of it. Technical questions, Joe can add to that.
Joe Judson, 3872 Bel Air Road, Augusta, Georgia, 30909. I'm the maintenance director up there. As Scott said, they spent over $3 million renovating that place 2 years ago. There's no office space up there. The patient rooms have been used for office space. The admin building actually creates a buffer from the back side of the development behind it.
Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here that'd like to speak either for or against this particular rezoning? None? I'll close the public hearing and accept a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve file RZ 161002, major S1 revision.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Approved, carries 4-0. Let's see, we have one item that was added. It's a temporary use permit. Mr. Butler.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a temporary use permit for the property we just heard. What they're looking to do is have an administrative/construction office during construction of the permanent office building. Staff has recommended approval. Again, this is where it would be over here. Normally these are connected to water, sewer, and electricity. However, due to the proximity to both, there's a building here and also one on the other side. The Development Services Department has said they don't need to have water and sewer really available, so it'll only be electric. Again, staff does recommend approval.
Okay. Gentlemen, this is not a public hearing. Are there any questions of staff? Okay, need a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the temporary use permit for tax map 06 parcel 008.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Approved, carries 4-0. We have no legal matters. Staff or commissioners' comments?
Just real quick while we're here, I actually remembered too late before this meeting that you guys wanted to see an update on previous items that went through Planning Commission, made it through Board of Commissioners, what happened. I don't have that in hard copy format for you now, but if you have anything specifically you want to ask about, feel free. Tuesday night, the Uchee Creek Greenway implementation plan was adopted by the commission, so that will be implemented. See some more information about that in the future. We're going to do some marketing, some heavy marketing on that. Get that out to the community through web and hard copy printouts and pamphlets, that sort of thing. The Southall Bel Air rezoning for the gas station, Bobby Maybaum's rezoning, that was actually approved by the commission Tuesday night. They ended up submitting a concept plan that you guys didn't see. They submitted it to the commission prior to their meeting, and they felt comfortable approving it, so they approved that item.
Hardy McManus?
Hardy McManus was actually withdrawn prior to the commission meeting, just prior to the commission meeting. So it was tabled from one commission meeting to the next in hopes that they could work something out. The commission could work something out with the developer and vice versa, and nothing actually came of that. So he withdrew, and last thing I heard was he intends to develop that as R2, so he should be coming back shortly. He wouldn't. No, well, he would have to come back with a concept plan,
right?
Concept plan and preliminary plat, but no public hearing.
no, which means that he probably won't contribute to any kind of a signal.
A signal, no. Well, and a signal is one of those things that wasn't warranted by our
Right.
traffic engineer either. They did his initial cursory study and then a more in-depth study as well, and neither time was a turn light warranted there.
But it,
Well, and he was going to install, and I think he will still need to install, regardless, left-hand turn lane project. So regardless what happens in the future, if he develops that side, we'll have to have a turn lane.
Comments? Public comments participation. We have two publics here. Right? All right, seeing that we're at the end of our meeting agenda, gentlemen, could we have a motion for adjournment? Second. All in favor?
safe.
Motion to adjourn, 6:31. Next meeting, October 20th at 6 p.m. in these chambers. Thank you for coming out, and be safe. Don't get blown away.